Coming to you live from a prostitute-infested shanty on top of a frozen lake, the #1 podcast all the hot babes are raving about. Slick and Brewski save the world! Welcome back to our humble abode, the shanty. I'm Slick, and joining me as always is your favorite horn patriot, the Brewski.
Maybe I am a woman.
And boy, do we have some news for you today as we try to figure out what the fuck is growing on Brewski's neck.
What the fuck?
That's why we had to switch to audio only. See, it's now didn't hit as hard. I'm just
fucking
go
stupid.
ahead, let it go. Let's move on.
All right, let's go.
So don't forget to like and subscribe. Sitting in today is Kamos.
Yo.
And hit the notification bell because you're going to want to get in on this. Now I've got a video here, and we're going to watch it. It's Senator Howley arguing with some eye-bulging see you next Tuesday.
Dipshit.
That's using the quote, people with capacity for pregnancy. And he's just trying to ask a few questions, and she kind of loses her mind. And this, we like to think, is a pretty good indication of how they're setting everybody into rage. Now, hold on.
For pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated
Holy
like this?
shit.
Yeah, I think he presents a pretty good case.
Holy shit.
So you can't listen anymore, can you?
Holy
Turn it off. I'm going to break something.
I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, that's right. And
Bud,
she's like raging in that.
These fucking people are out of control, bud.
She's charged, though. She's like legit. Like,
Bud.
even there were a few times her voice sounds really shaky. Like she's like having a hard time getting it out. But she's emotionally charged.
But these people
Like,
are
she's
out
like
of control.
seems like really on point with what she's saying. Like, it's not that she thinks, because sometimes I'm like asking myself, who's paying her to say this? Like, where is she going with all this and why? What's her, but like when she talks about like, well, 1 in 5 transgenders commit suicide, it sounds like she gets emotional about it, like thinking she's about to change the problem by saying it's got to be recognized.
They tend to forget to tell you that after these people have surgeries, the suicide rate 5 to 7 years after the surgery skyrockets.
Right.
They tend to tell
like
you
they only show one side
the facts. They tend to forget those.
And so it's
because it's how many people out there have surgery and then 5 years later go, oh shit, what I do?
So what you say, your argument is that they're manipulating young minds into thinking this is a good idea, or that we're
It's
not
a fad.
We're
It's
certainly
a fad.
Yeah, we're certainly at risk to that.
It's the cool thing
TikTok,
right now.
What are they seeing on there? And it seemed like it was getting a lot of views. It sure seemed like it was popular. These are padded numbers because they just want to keep you engaged. But also, communist China could simply be just trying to manipulate your mind. Whatever it is, the fad, whatever swing in, because you do have transgenders popping up all over the place and it's becoming more common.
The only good thing that could come of this.
So what you're saying is that these people go through this and then they regret it later, and that's why 1 in 5. But what they're doing by her talking and recognizing them is literally the problem itself, is that people want to do it, and then but it all comes back to the young mind, right? So they're acting like they protect young minds.
Right. But the thing is, the best thing that could happen of all this is little Johnny, 5 years old, wants to go get his dick cut off. All right,
little Johnny goes to get his dick
gets the surgery done. His buddies, okay,
say, and show me your dick. I want to prove it.
And then a few weeks later, he freaks out, is having all kinds of emotional things. What did I do? All of his buddies see it happening, and they're all like, "Yeah, we're cool with that." Just like the first person to drink the Kool-Aid, all of a sudden they, you know what I mean? Whatever. I don't know what that effect is called. Okay, so then, you understand what I'm saying there, though? You drink the Kool-Aid and you drop it. Everybody else pours their Kool-Aid out.
Let me throw one that I think might be the good word is like abandonment. Is the fact that they think people accept them, and then all of a sudden the friends don't know how to deal with these emotional problems they're having because they certainly don't know how to apply themselves and they haven't done it. So these people get more from the community of transgender. So they're basically going back to the blind and looking for direction now. And then these transgenders are just trying to make the best with what they got now because they're in the same boat and they just don't want to own up to it. So they're like, oh, come on, let's just go have fun together. And then what do? They just do sins of the flesh or who knows what the fuck they're up to. Just try and morbidly occupy their own time. They don't have a family. They don't raise a family. They probably work at McDonald's or
the first person jumps.
I don't know. Not all transgenders work at fast food.
The first bungee jumper doesn't make it. The rest say, "Hey, I'm cool."
Yeah, it'll be like Life After Porn. When they talk to like Jenna Jameson, after doing it for what did she have, like a 20-year run?
Yeah,
we could talk like this because we might as well get it in. Tits, boobs, vaginas. I'm just kidding.
That's scars.
Yeah, scars.
No, like you said though too, like you could totally hear on one side of that the rage and how worked up they were when nothing really was said that was anything.
That's right.
So they're going in. They're going in to make that rage. They're going in
for them to get that defensive over it. Like, why are they getting so defensive over it if there's not some sort of like underlying?
You can calm down at any time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right. It's like somebody slapping you in the face before you go into a fight. You know what I mean? Like somebody's getting you worked up. They want you worked up. You want to make a scene because they want to trap you, bud. That guy could get himself trapped real fast, okay?
Yeah.
Being called a racist or a homophobe or whatever. Right. That's when you get somebody backpedaling.
And they're trying to take him out.
Yes.
And that's when you start name-calling someone else or just like that. That means you have nothing to actually say that makes you look good. You just have to put someone else down.
He just looks so confident in that video.
He's just like asking his
questions. You almost could
like,
notice it. He's just like, no. That's not how this is about to go.
It's
if
like
he was an attorney, I'd be terrified of that guy. I'd be like, no, please, God, leave me alone.
Someone screaming in his face, and he's just like staring at him, like, "What's wrong with you?"
It was a good match. It was a good match. I saw that this morning, and I'm like, this is worth talking about because this one got me thinking a little bit. It's like they're just bringing it in there. He's not even leading. He's not going down the trail, but it's still. I asked myself, are enough people gonna see this shit? Where we're gonna be aware of it, or is it? Because listen, here's what I'm trying to say. If we were to think of the transgender community of the big, massive ball of shit.
right, which it is.
It's not, and we're canceled. This ball of shit's getting bigger, and there's nothing, no one knows why.
It's why it's getting big is people are becoming pansies and not fighting for things, bud.
I love what you're saying. That's why.
When you don't put the fire out, guess what happens? It burns down the forest.
You get a pansy.
You know what I mean?
So they started the pansy factory, and this is the pansy factory burning to the ground.
It's because people are
the
not
pansies
afraid,
couldn't even fucking take
because
care of it.
people are afraid of losing what they got, just like everything else. Nobody wants to speak up. Nobody wants to be that guy that's out there by themselves feeling it's sad.
That's why we are not. We don't have things to lose.
We did this podcast. Right, well, the day I get put on an island, old Brewski don't go down without a fight, brother. All right. Better the old Brewski don't get put on islands, bud. I'd give a shit less if I'm the only one on it or not.
Guantanamo Bay.
I'd give a shit less if I'm the only one on the island or not.
Okay.
You're always gonna know how I feel in whatever.
Honesty is key. That's your
you
policy.
Gotta be
the Brewski's honesty.
A lot of people don't think that way though, and it's scary. Well, everybody's like, oh shit. I'll say, oh no, I can't.
I think a lot of it's because of you got to have the core values. You got to have your own morals or values, and not just depend on others. And the thing is, like they said, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything.
Oh,
So
100%.
if you
That's what's
don't
happening.
know what you stand for,
1,000%.
then you'll just fall for every little thing because you'll grasp onto that
Well
belief system.
said.
Because
I
then
heard
it's-
somebody said that about somebody I know. It's like, I think it was the in-laws talking about she doesn't want to believe the left or the right. Now her mom's so like, don't get me wrong, like you get to a point where you think you're choosing it's not like I ever want to be pinned on a side necessarily. Right. I kind of voted for Trump because I
say I'm down the middle, but I lean right. That's why I always talk.
I thought from what I saw, he was literally trying his best. No one liked him.
He's not a politician.
No one fucking liked him.
Not a politician.
But he was trying, and
Right.
it was so clear and evident
Still
on his
is.
face.
Still is.
Now, why would I think like that? Like, I don't see Biden. Like, every now and then I'll look at Biden and I'll be like, kind of almost got me there. That was a good. But then I'm like, wait a minute. If it's a speech or whatever, and then you got to see what comes out the other end.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the talk and here's what comes out. And I thought Trump did pretty good with this and that. And he, like, you'll see reviews, like people most around the clock. Most people, their biggest qualm was that he didn't fire enough people.
Well, here's
Like they thought he should
here's
have
the
gutted
thing.
more people out of there. But I don't think it's that easy to do.
I heard something
like
the other day. It was amazing. Okay, it was a review on a song I was watching on YouTube. All right,
Sure.
But how the guy was actually stating it.
Yep.
The reactor of this was, it doesn't matter if it's true or false. It's how you display it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Now, but he don't give a shit if it's true or false. As long as he can play you, he don't give a shit.
That's right.
I mean,
That's our media to a.
That's a media
100%.
And
101.
that's what I try to remind myself
it
that
doesn't
it could
matter
be.
because how many people are going to go actually look at the facts?
Yeah.
There's too many people that are out of sight, out of mind these days. I mean,
And let's face it, it's hard to find the facts a lot
exactly
of times
right.
you
100%.
don't know who to trust anymore.
And they bury stuff too.
The biggest,
sure.
another not to have to go back over it, but when they went after Trump so much, that was when it was like, there's got to be something going on here.
100%.
That we gotta know, like, because they really did, and we watched that happen.
Yeah.
It was like, this is like they're fucking with us here, right? And then they act like they didn't do that,
Right.
or they still to this day like kind of keep trying to bury him, and it's like,
Right.
what are they trying
January
to fucking
6th.
hide?
Oh,
That's
January
why
6th.
we can't help ourselves. And that January 6th,
A
that's
bunch
just
of bullshit.
I know
He's getting so shafted, dude.
I
it's a
just
bunch of
feel
bullshit.
sorry for what the hell's going on. But these people that are saying, like, I feel bad for our country, that are, like, drinking the poison,
Yeah.
saw January 6th and they just want to think, like, shake my head. How could these people, what's wrong with them? You know, and it's
Right.
like, we saw exactly. They're just in denial. And
right.
the cops were waving them in, and then they fucking arrested everyone. It was a big fucking vacuum.
And what people completely forget is that it's our country. It's our building. It's the people's building to go do that. They've done it several other times, had armed protests
That's
there
right.
where they literally
That's right.
handed the people back their guns.
dude.
Like, it's mind-boggling because people just so quickly forget.
And if they can get the vote, if they can get you to believe they get the vote, and that's all they need. And that's how you got whatever people vote.
Like you said, it doesn't matter if it's true. It's how they display it.
Well,
if
I'm
you get
just
people to believe it.
I'm afraid of what's next, man. I don't know. I think I think a lot of people, honestly, on the left, though, they really like the idea of COVID. I hate to say it because I think they're so spiteful and bitter
They
that
cling
they're
to the
like,
fear.
well, good, because I didn't have any friends anyway. I wasn't gonna go see them,
Right.
and it worked out well for them. Like, I stay in touch with my friends anyway. Whatever they don't believe in the social aspect, and that's the part that started to really click in my head. Is like, we do need to meet other people,
Right.
and we actually need to get sick.
You need to stay in contact.
Like, it's part of life. It's not something you run away from. You just accept it.
Chicken pox.
And they try to scare people like this, and that's where I'm starting to say, like, something ain't right about this.
No,
It
And
works
to
on the
this
other
day-
side,
for
too.
monkeypox?
You
You've
know
been
what
talking to your boyfriend?
I remember saying to myself, if in like 2 years I don't feel like this, if in like a year from now I was wrong,
I'll slap you.
I'll feel like better. But like, I'm still here, and we're still podcasting about it.
Hell yeah, but we're going live.
Yeah.
Like you
Election
said,
night, we will be live here at Slick and Brewski.
those
As
people
soon
you
as we
said
get that,
that
big fat check from our sponsor. Speaking of which, are you ready to go fishing, hunting, or just change your car's oil? Try Carlisle Pro Glasses and get shit done.
No, like you were saying though, like those people that cling to it and everything, it as far as the social aspect, it works both ways because misery loves company. So when you're on that same kind of feeling,
and I thought that
you
too,
fall right back into
nothing
it.
good comes out of this. Sometimes you need to be
It's
like,
just a cycle.
I'm kind of feeling down today, and then you're like, maybe I didn't get enough sleep. Oh no, I'm hungry too. You're aware of yourself, but it always comes with like talking to someone else and being like they're in a good mood, bad mood. But you can people need people. That's just the way it is. You don't need a lot of people. You need like 2, and then save the world.
Just like what's his name said.
Save the world. Who?
What's his name that was on Rogan?
Drago. He said if he dies, he dies. Oh.
Joey Diaz, Bob. He's like, you don't need 100 motherfuckers. You just need 3-4 friends.
Yeah, a good little
Take
core
down
group of people.
Right. But
It's
it just scares me with the transsexual stuff, though.
Yeah.
It's the shit's going to a local level, bud.
Yeah, it's not. I really don't want to invent new reasons to be upset all the time.
Right,
But our youth is being poisoned, and it's a plague.
Daily.
It's a plague, and they're winning this game.
Daily.
And it's a bleak future if we don't snap
It's up
in.
to the parents.
Hey, bud, it's easy to win when there's no defense.
And it's
is.
easy to win if there's no defense, and the parents can't play defense because they're
afraid of losing
hustling
what they got.
out there to try and pay their bills.
Right.
Yeah.
And even it doesn't matter if you're doing there's obviously people that have enough money that they've got new options, that these they aren't, so it's happening to us guys. Like it's us. Like even the people that are on TV, they can't offer a genuine opinion about what it's like down here.
Mm-hmm.
They're making what they're making on TV. So you're talking about when these rising tides, or what do I almost the rage of rage goes up, you'll have people losing and more, think about the crime rates going up more.
Crime rates the highest it's ever been.
Make a turn for the better soon. I like to think it's all, but who knows?
All I know is local level, Bob. That's where it has to be nipped in the butt quick.
Local
level.
So go out,
you got local
vote.
Schools literally trying to pass big levies. All right. Emergency levies. Oh, yeah, it's because our schools are falling apart. Okay, I can see that. Also, you got to read what's in the fine print of so-called programs that are trying to be
diversity,
pushed through.
Equity,
inclusion. Guess what? We need all new books and programs to help out the kids and all this bullshit. I'm telling you, it's why can't Biden get the infrastructure stuff passed all the time? It's because of shit that he's trying to push with it.
Okay.
Yes, we do need bridges. Yes, we do need whatever. But it's the stuff that they try to push through that people don't read the fine print on.
The inclusion.
Dude,
it's the part that worries me. Is it's
insanity.
Are you included, Mr. Transgender?
Right.
Well, of course you're included.
Right.
And no one wants to say that he's not included, but he just needs to sit at a more... a different table. You don't.
It's insanity.
So they're talking about transgenders as they don't want to segregate them.
Right.
That's wrong to do. And I gotta be honest. As far as suicide rates, it wouldn't help it any.
Right.
No.
But they say that, but at the same time, they don't act that way because they say that, and then you have the colleges who give separate pride.
100%.
Graduations.
Scholarships.
Scholarships.
Yeah, it's all ass backwards. Yeah, Marxist. It reeks of Marxist way.
You don't gotta be the best.
Different companies will pay for you to have the operations.
You don't gotta be the best at what you do. Just be this color or this sexual orientation. We'll hire you right now. Ain't that terrible? But your own president said that shit. We are going to hire a black woman to do what was her job title? That was the most racist thing I've ever seen in my life. And she's the one that said that she can't she was asked point blank, can a man get pregnant? And she said yes.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
There you go.
She wanted to
she said yes, bro.
She said she didn't say yes. I remember her saying she wouldn't answer it.
Yeah, she couldn't. She couldn't tell you what a woman was. That's what she said. That's
what it was.
The other girl was the one that said something about a woman. Yeah,
it's the sad thing is, but here I was, and you had mentioned,
it's sad.
So it's they're talking about the inclusion, but who are they including? Well, we're grouping these people, and we're saying we'll include them.
Right.
Brings me back to the point I made. Is it's kids that are looking for attention will see that as the best way to get attention.
Absolutely.
And then you got your
You're
fads.
getting double attention.
That's right.
Because you
And-
get your
yeah,
thing and the other
Yeah, that's
special
right.
thing.
And
so
you
you're
get the
getting
cool-
extra holidays.
It's
Yeah.
the
Call it
cool
the
thing.
old transgender special holidays.
It's the
Yeah.
cool thing now.
That's
special
right.
graduation.
That's right. You see how this becomes, and then
I mean,
and
they'll
then
probably start
parents
rolling
believe
that
that
into
it's the best thing too,
Because my
they're so
boy
damn
that-
stupid they don't know any
Hey,
better.
Because my boy that can't beat boys at basketball turns into a girl,
So
and he's
how-
one of the best in the state.
Where do
So
you-
guess what he's going to get? A scholarship.
Yeah.
Free money. All you got to say is you're a girl, Bob. It's not hard to comprehend what's going to happen.
definitely trying
I'm
to-
calling it, dude. I'm calling it right now.
Which
There's
is-
going to be so many pissed off parents in the next 5 years that their kid misses out on a scholarship because they're getting taken out by a transsexual kid. Bud, if I had a daughter and she missed a scholarship because a man, a growing boy, was dressing like a girl to get a free scholarship, Bud.
Which brings up the next point. Then what's that
Yikes.
going to do for like women's rights at that
Exactly.
point?
You'd think the feminists would freak out.
Yeah,
you would
no,
think like they'd be
absolutely.
the
I know.
first ones.
Right.
But, dude, this is insanity. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life or
Which at
heard
that
of.
point, that's just going to pit then another group against each
Right,
other. You know, it's a whole cycle of just.
If you were to write a game plan, I don't think you could write this out like a story. I don't think you could
Actually, they did.
Well, I mean,
No.
it just like you would think it's what fictional.
Didn't they just blow up those stones? Actually,
Yeah, right. Wouldn't you? But wouldn't you think it was a fictional story? If you read a story of what's going on in the world right now, you'd be like, "Oh, it's fictional. It's a fictional story. They just whatever. They put a book together."
It's just like Elon said about the space launches thing. It looks so fake. It's got to be real.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's insanity. And then that's going down to the, like I told you, basic stuff. And all the parents are afraid to say things. Shit, you got parents that are afraid to say things because, oh man, my kid's playing sports. If I say anything, he might not make that team.
Well, I mean,
here's the big difference between like when we grew up, all right? Right now they're watering down sports like crazy. Anybody's kid can make a tournament or a special traveling team.
right.
We had to actually make teams. 100 they put in a newspaper, hey, come try out. 100 kids would show up. We'd have to beat the shit out of all these other kids to be able to get on this team. Nowadays, it's who's Johnny's rich dad is putting a team together, and you got all these parents who are afraid, well, I can't say anything because if I say anything and look like the madman out, they're not going to want my kid to be on the team. Newsflash for all parents out there, okay, that's got a kid that's any kind of athletic. If your kid's good, they're not going to say no to you. They're going to, I don't give a shit if they don't get along with your dad
They
or
wanna
not.
win.
They
Right.
want to win.
I
They're
rem-
going to come get your kid. So if you think your kid's not going to get picked because of what you're saying, your kid ain't that good. I'm just newsflash. I don't care, boy, girl,
there
whatever.
are some that are very, very political, though.
Right,
I mean,
100%. It's
you
all
know,
politics.
So, I mean, I'm sure there are some, but like we said too, there'd be another team that would, you know,
Scoop them up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so
It's insanity. Like growing up on teams and stuff. Not everybody got along. Hell, teammates didn't get along. Hell, parents and watching us didn't get along. But guess what? We won. We were there to win.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit what you say. As long as you win, nobody gives a shit.
Things were different back then.
But
That's one thing. It
now
teaches
it's
you to work together with people that you might not even like. You know,
100%. Well, here's the thing though. If you don't like the people you work with now, try to get them fired. That's what they're literally doing these days.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the fucked
Well,
up
that's
part.
the real world.
Nobody wants to work together. They just look at you as odd man out. That's messed up. That's that. And that once again, where are they
Got a
going?
fucked
They're
up
going.
world going
They're
on
going
here.
for the little ones, bud. Teach them in little baseball. Oh, he doesn't agree with. Oh, get him off the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I get kicked off the team and I come back to my new team, beat your ass. And I've done it before. So I mean, hey, you don't want I missed out on an all Ohio team,
Nah.
best in my county, but missed out on an all Ohio team. Got on another team, beat their ass.
I remember when you were talking about the, if you're not good, I remember being on football. I was not, I didn't find myself as a terribly valuable asset to the team.
You're a good test of
I
it.
had a lot of heart. I had a lot of heart for the team. I really
Right.
did believe in that. Like we as a team,
Right.
I did like to think and my so many of my friends that I
Right.
just liked
Yeah.
so much putting their heart into this. So I was nose tackle, but I was laughing because I'm thinking to myself, I remember those coaches were trying to tell me that I could jump down to like a different team and get more play time just because, there's a place for that.
But you want to stay with your buddies.
My pride would not let me. Like, I just couldn't do it, man. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, why would I leave what I've already established as a team, even if I'm just this person here, though?
Right.
So what I'm telling you is there are those people on the team, too. Right. We were undefeated that year.
Right.
And I'll never forget it. It was like win. And I didn't have, I still enjoyed being, but I rose hell with these guys and tried to and something to be said about that. So it's not like because I was on the team, we did bad. I don't know. I never went to play again because I just was not athletic. Damn it, man. What I know now, but my point is
they're just teaching kids though now.
But those coaches could have thought like you then and said like, God damn this kid, if he would just get the fuck off my team.
Well,
but the truth is, I think they were looking out for my best interest, just wanted me to play more.
Right.
Like if you want to play, you got to do it there. No one wants you. No one said they don't want you here. We're just looking out for you. And I was like, this is my team.
I'm looking. Yeah, I hear
my point is,
on that, but
it doesn't hurt any kid's feelings to be. Not the so if we just kept things the way they were, there was nothing wrong with that. I'm bad as fuck.
I'm looking at it as like
we lost them.
You're weakening the parents, especially the dads. Especially the dads. Just they're afraid of saying things because they don't want to.
Nowadays, if a dad's even there, it's a good thing.
That's true, but I'm just saying,
it's tough.
It's hard. Like my dad, dude.
Quick shout out to all those great fathers out there doing the right thing, right?
To all the fathers that are being tough on their kids and not.
You need to, oh, geez, tough on their kids.
It's so stupid, man. I've never seen like.
So you're saying you got smacked in the face?
But I've talked to and probably gonna be listening to this, but you need to man up a little bit.
Don't kid yourself. No one cares.
I've talked about 5 people. Okay, about this. All right.
Yep.
All right, and one of them isn't who you think. So, like, I play softball with a few people, all right?
You play softball.
And they're talking to me about, they're the ones saying they don't want to say anything because they don't want little Johnny not being able to get playing time. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bud, we grew up together. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, you're bowing because of this? I'm like, did we do that when we were little? Hell no. What the hell are you talking about?
So they're saying they're afraid to talk to a coach about something for what?
Just what they say in general. I've never seen people so muffled. Like
you've said that a long time. That's what you stand for. It's kind of why we're here.
I've never seen anything like it.
You can't stand watching people cower and just go
100%.
along to get along without putting any thought into their best interest.
Scared of even saying their own beliefs.
And then and then paralyzed because they don't want to
that little thing where they're trying to take away that little First Amendment. You know what I mean? Like, it's embarrassing almost. Like,
that it's working.
But I look at it as the local level. Like, dude, we're talking about Little League baseball, and it's working. And it's like, I've never seen anything like it before in my life. Like,
so
just
you're
cowering,
get a backbone.
Pretty much,
we get our listeners to get a backbone,
and like the whole like. You can't, for all the parents out there too that have their kids, whatever. Yes, I played travel ball, I played whatever my whole life. Okay, they're watering down like the basics of stuff. All right, everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody, kid wants to play training ball. We'll make a team for him. Not, hey, strive for greatness. Make that team. You know what I mean?
You're on the parents.
You're going to have to beat somebody's ass to get killer attitude to get on that team. Yes, you're going to have to beat people out to get there. Show you guys a pair. You get on that team.
Yeah.
But
like
Daddy,
Rudy.
But Daddy, I want to be on a team. Well, let's make one and water down everything because your kid's terrible.
A lot of kids need to pop in Rudy
They need to learn at an early level. Yes, you get knocked down and get right back up. Hey, if you sink or swim. Like I said, I'll never like thank you, Father. 5 years old playing with 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds. Never got to play T-ball, never got to play coach pitch. Thrown in 5 years old with the 7 and 8-year-olds. I can't thank my father enough for that. Ever.
Right.
Got my ass kicked for the first 2 years of baseball. I couldn't be afraid of the ball. You want to play? You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's just how it was. Kids today, you can't do that. These kids will freak out mentally and bullshit. They just oh my God, a ball. And then you get the parents moms
with
freaking
all
out.
due
Oh my
respect,
God, my baby. Oh, Jesus Christ.
you know more.
It's
once
insanity.
I know. It's not easy.
But my mom was the loudest one there, bro. Stop the ball or don't be a pansy.
Yeah.
I'd hear her over everybody. Moms are not like it. It's insanity.
Just a thought, like I don't know.
My mom was the craziest
just to look
one
at the
there.
flip side of things. So was my mom. My mom was always screaming and yelling at the games. But just a flip side of that, what if, like, because look at the paradigm that we're in right now with how athletics are. And, like, you look at, obviously, athletes are some of the richest people in the world.
Right.
Some of the richest. And how much do they actually contribute to the world?
Not much.
Right. So.
Well, I wish they'd stay out of stuff and just play the game and keep us happy.
And as far as the amount of money, if you look at the money that they have, like, there should not be people that don't have food. When there's
that's
people,
true.
That many
Exactly
people
right.
that make millions and millions and millions of dollars.
1,000%.
So with
Just
that
like
being
we're
said,
spending another 500 million when they're starting people.
Right. But what if just kind of like, and obviously we only see it as the tip of the iceberg now, but what if in the long run, the whole watering down of the sports, of the athletics, is actually part of the plan
to get rid of them?
To phase part of that out as far as just the way it's done now. Not to say that athletics won't exist or that competition won't exist in a certain manner. Obviously it will. We all have the strive, the need to compete to get better. We push ourselves to get better. That's where you know what I mean? That's why we're here, is to evolve and adapt.
It's sad because, like I say, I wish we had a little splash of old school in us a little bit, because little Johnny was
we'll get back there. We just got to go around the spiral a little bit.
Mr. Everything in baseball, football, sports, and whatever. Growing up, went to the Marines, became all he could be. You know, was a war hero. The American dream like that. Kids are not playing with G.I. Joe anymore, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad about that.
Well,
I don't think we should be trying to,
just
push them into that.
Right.
Like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's the old whole ideal behind it and everything. But some of that kind of
right. I hear you. I hear you.
I'm not saying, like I've said before, not saying that I don't respect all those people and the things that they've done, but at the same time, with like I've said too, like all these countries that work together on all this stuff, are we really sending people off to save other countries, or are we sending people off just to fight with other people so that we all blow each other up and they make a bunch of money? And
I just look at it as they're nipping it. They're trying
from
to get
a Buddhist standpoint. It sure does seem like that. I come to that conclusion.
Right.
Like what I'm saying is, as I did my as I practiced the practice of Zen Buddha, you think about it and you've got to give attention to this stuff, the idea to try and dissolve evil altogether means you can't fight. There is no war. There is no opposition to anything. Now, it kind of sounds like it leaves the guy really defenseless if someone wanted to take something from you. But then, in the Buddhist way, you ask yourself, well, are they really taking anything from you at all? And it's almost like you can always dissolve all problems, and it always comes down to not fighting. The sad thing is, the problem is, what if somebody does? Like, if a bully's picking on you, just not fighting doesn't make the problem go away. So you could be a Buddhist, and you would literally be inviting this bully that needs to do it, and you were just there at that time, and you don't really stand up for yourself. Now, I'm trying to think, where along the lines do you need to say, don't do that or stop that? Do they believe in self-defense to any measure? Is this just a way of thinking to get through problems? My point is, it always makes me think, why are we even at war at all? And why would anyone? So there's always a reason somewhere, and whether it's money or what, it happens. And it comes in evil and collects. And somewhere along the way, when you join forces, the idea is that you're protecting your country. And I believe a lot of everybody signs up thinking they're doing that with best intentions. But I've noticed a lot of people that have had doubts about what they did was whether it was morally right in the end. And no one confesses those things. No one wants to, but the truth is, for all I know, everything they did led to good things, and I can't stab holes in that story. Or the Buddhist way is, and we shouldn't be fighting, and we need to resolve all war and conflict all around the world. But aren't there people, death to America, that can't be good, do we just let those things go on? You see how long I can go on with this? But if you just dissolve evil...
People who become complacent get crushed in the end.
Oh, I understand.
Ask the Romans about that.
Exactly.
Ask That's the Romans about becoming complacent.
That's
and
what
thinking
we've been for since about 1920. We've
Yes.
been completely complacent
right,
as a
and
whole
we're losing
society.
it. We're starting to lose it.
I mean, mentally, you know
Right.
what I mean?
We're
Physically,
starting to
we
lose
were
it.
good. I mean,
Right.
physically, we've had the athletes. We got the bronze, we got
Right.
strong motherfuckers. We got the Marines. We got
Right.
the best,
Yeah.
for many, many years, and still arguably the best, military on the planet.
Right.
But what's that get us?
I like to think about it too, but like if you look at America in like other countries, like the amounts of the freedoms that we have here.
Our freedoms are rights.
What I wanted to say was alleged freedom, because the idea is pure. It's like, oh, America's the land of the free.
You know what the
but
messed
once
up
you
part
start
is?
living here, you're kind of like, man, I am kind of a slave. Like I like to use the
know-
word lately, the slave to debt, and I only say slave to debt because if inflation goes up,
Right.
what do you
we're screwed, yeah.
we don't have a lot of
Because
breathing
why?
room.
Because why?
So you're literally a slave to debt.
Right, because we've given in so many to other countries and not cared about ourselves first.
There you go.
And
Is that what you think it is?
Right.
Biden
And
says
mil-
it's all
and
because of
mil-
Russia.
and military wise, all right. Why do you think all these militaries around us are getting better? It's because we give them all this shit,
Yeah.
or they buy our old jet planes, or whatever.
I mean, we're a slave ever since the Federal Reserve came
Right.
in like
Yeah.
1918.
yeah,
you go.
it's,
I mean, that's when a lot of it changed. I mean, that's when before that we didn't have the income tax. You didn't have
Right.
the federal tax. You didn't have the state tax. All they did was sales tax. That was it. It paid for everything.
Right.
Everything from top to bottom. All the other money just gets recycled through the government, and it's all a whole facade. I mean, so that whole, you think about it, like we think about our freedoms and everything. So,
Right.
they teach it in school too. Our freedoms. When you grow up, you get to drive a car.
Right.
Oh, so that's a freedom? Well, no, you have to pay for the car. And then multiple times,
Right.
you got to pay sales tax on it multiple times, depending
Right.
on how that car is actually sold. Then you got to pay for your license.
You-
Then you got to pay
you
for
have
the
the
license
freedom to
plate.
pay
Then you
that.
got to pay for the sticker. Right.
Yeah.
So that break it down
Most
like
expensive
just for the
sticker
Tags are due.
Yeah, just,
Tags are due.
yeah, just for
Tags
that,
are
it's
due.
what,
This ID
65
won't
bucks
work.
now.
Right,
You
yeah.
need
So,
another proof
that's-
of insurance.
yeah, you-
But you have the
Tags are
freedom
due.
to go
Tags
there
are
and buy
due.
it.
Tags are
Exactly.
due.
You have the freedom to give us your
Notice
money.
of suspension. Failure to stop at a crosswalk. No,
watched
I'm
the-
just kidding.
And
And,
then
it
you're
never
in jail.
stops. Yeah, and then you're in
and-
jail.
Right. You know what I mean?
What did that
For-
get you? Fucking nothing. That's what.
That's freedom.
Well, there is something to be said about a lot of those things, but it's true. Like once you start getting steamrolled
Yeah.
through the system,
Right.
it's like I guess
Well,
I
like
gotta
I've
work
said,
my
the-
balls off.
here's the
for
difference.
a piece of shit car.
But it's-
There's
I-
a difference
the whole-
in communism and America. Communism, straight up, like you said,
Right.
a thief, they chop their hand off.
Right.
Same there. You go rape someone, they probably chop your dick off. In
Right.
America, though, what they do is they actually brainwash everyone to think that you fucked up so bad
That
you
you gotta-
should go chop your own dick off.
Yeah, and you gotta,
Yeah.
you shouldn't go to jail. You got an illness. And
Right.
then all of a sudden, how we make money off of that? Like,
Yeah.
pretty much, like, oh, you don't need to go to jail. You need to go to a psych ward so we can give you all these pills we need to,
Yeah, get you all drugged up,
Yeah,
and we can
come
just
here,
run
little white
experiments
mouse.
on you. Exactly.
Come here, little white mouse. It's so sad, man.
the world
But
is
the problem
falling
is,
apart.
It's baby step. We are in like,
We're in a huge transition mode.
we are in huge baby steps of transition mode right now.
Well, the World
We're at the
Economic
bottom
Forum
right now.
is about to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Do you think their shit's gonna stick? Because I've been
You better
seeing a
hope
lot of their
not.
stuff popping up that like more people are talking about it, and it just worries me that what if like they just start moving toward this? They were talking about like producing 80 million crickets to eat, and they're starting to actually produce them, and
Right.
it makes you ask yourself and this is things I'd love to look into a little closer and make sure these facts are accurate, but that was something that grossed me out. It's like, why are they starting to make them? Like, it's almost like they already know where they're heading. It's what it looked like. It's a way to get more protein out there on a body.
It makes me wonder if it's
You
true
ready
or
to eat
not.
some crickets or what?
Because that's what
Come
Klaus
on,
Schwab
dude.
had said.
Yeah, is that what he said?
Well, he said you'll eat insects and you'll like it.
You
said that?
Klaus Schwab. That was part of their whole. He said
Where-
you'll eat insects and you'll like it, and you'll own nothing and you'll like it.
I've heard that quite a few times.
Yeah, that was two of the things that he said
Well,
as far as
listen
what the
to
new
this.
world
Hence,
order
and
will bring
the
to
own
people.
nothing part. The own nothing part.
Are we supposed to
Listen.
not talk about it so it
I don't
never
get-
happens? Are we
Listen,
making it worse
listen.
by being like, apparently we're
That
gonna
own nothing part?
Fucking hey, why? I'm just getting rid of my shit now. That's fucking.
Well, that
Throw it
own
out the
nothing
window.
part.
I got nothing.
Why do you think all these apartment complexes and stuff are popping up everywhere? Townhouses, all this
Rentals.
stuff. Rentals. They want everybody renting. Why? Because probably about 70% of the people that rent in this country rely on something.
Yep.
Hence, like,
You can't be independent if you rent.
they possibly rely on the government somewhere down the line.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, like food. Okay. Why do you think food prices are jacking up so high, bud? Because the people who actually vote one way don't give a shit about food prices. Why? Why don't they?
Because
they get these little cards, Bob.
Well,
they don't give a shit about food prices.
And that's the thing too, is what they do, just like with the
That's
apartments
sad.
and stuff. They subsidize the living, so
Exactly
they make certain
right.
living areas cheaper. So what's
Yeah.
it mean? Lower income people can live
Crime
there.
rate's crazy.
Then they add in the food, but what they also do with the food that they give you, they only give you the crap food. Like you can only
well, not
get-
anymore. Not that
for the most part.
If you see, what is it? It's not Wick anymore. It's Epic or whatever. the fuck it's called.
EBT?
EBT.
Oh,
there
my
you go.
mom's got an
It's on,
EBT card.
It's on everything. But that's
I've had
Okay.
friends that have gotten a hold of their family members, and we went out and bought some food, like just like dumb
well.
shit. Like
Try to
it's
be in
just-
front of the ones that have like steak and lobster and shit in front of you at the grocery store,
Yeah.
and you're scraping to get by.
The
And
truth
these
is,
and these
I'm-
fucking idiots are literally buying
I'm
that
with you
and
all
voting a
day.
certain
I
way.
guarantee
I'm with
you
you
with
all
what they
day, but
get,
here's
though.
what's going on: is these
Because
people
there's actually-
don't hold on.
there's
These
some
people
people that need
hold
it.
on. They're not even challenging themselves.
No.
They don't want to challenge themselves, and the sad thing is, they'll always be those people, and there's really nothing we
Right.
can do about
No,
it.
hell
There's
no.
a culture living
You gotta
around
f-
it. It's happened, dude.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
These people don't want to be on the system, but they just don't want to try hard enough to get off it.
And there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of generations
I've
like
been
that.
in, yeah, and the idea is to keep your eye on the prize. And
Right.
if you were going, like, if you watch Cinderella Man, you know, that was the movie where he walks in and he's like ready to cry because
Right.
he needs to borrow money,
Yeah.
and he paid it back. He was one of the only people that
Those
ever
are people
paid.
who strive for
Like,
things in life.
because they have like moral standards. They're
They
like, I'm
wanna
not
be better in
here
life.
to, but. Here's another aspect, my friend. When inflation comes in, and you're
Right.
damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Right.
Some of these people are just going to be like,
They
I
got you.
gotta
They got
go.
you.
I gotta go. Right?
Because why? Because people don't know how to
they-
be violent anymore and go hunt for
I
their
know, I wasn't ready for that
and go
little
hunt
curveball there.
and
We're gonna
go
take a
hunt
quick break and see if we can calm them down.
right, and go hunt for their food and stuff like that.
No, I want to hear a Brewski breakdown.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
They don't want people to learn how to hunt. Why do you think they're going after the gun? But I just heard something the other day. Oh, they're going after the nobody. They don't want any kids learn how to shoot guns. First off, that's a horrible idea because Johnny goes and hunts with his dad. Okay, this is not going to fly in Bible Belt whatever either.
Okay.
Johnny at 5, 6 learns how to shoot guns with his dad hunting. All right, they do it on the family farm. Whatever. He teaches his kid to respect the gun. He learns how to handle the gun. He knows that, you have to have that respect for weapons, bud. The kids that are shooting everybody up don't have respect for weapons, bud.
No, they learn that stuff on the TV
Exactly
or on the streets
right.
or something.
Or games because they don't
Right.
know, hands-on whatever.
I could
but
debate
once
you. I
again-
think those
but
school
once
shooters
again-
might respect their weapon a lot. They
just don't respect
out
themselves,
To kill
okay.
people. Yeah, they're fucked in the head.
Yeah,
like,
but,
they
okay.
just-
Well, you gotta remember the kids who go hunting with dad when you're young probably ain't gonna be a school
I
shooter.
agree to that.
Okay,
There's something about
but
that.
they're trying to say the kids.
There's
go-
also something about the kid just having a goddamn hobby. You know,
that,
like,
that
let's
too.
just-
That too.
Maybe he won't be a
but
school
they're
shooter
trying
if
to
he has
say
a
in
good
the news right now that kid's learning how to kill at an early age. That's how they're trying to spin it.
Well, that's tough
Oh, if a
because they're
kid
gonna have to
learns how to
show
use
more
it.
like,
Huh?
Because
yeah.
the kid learns how to use
Kids,
it at an early
yeah.
age.
Kids out in the hills don't go in and shoot up their school. They might
Right.
get into some fucking meth or fentanyl.
It's
Out in those.
But even with that, that's crazy you say that because a lot of the school shooters in that too, a good majority, I don't know the exact percentage, but a good majority all have some sort of relationship with the psychotropic drugs, like the antipsychotics and things like that.
Is that
it's-
right?
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know that. What?
pharmaceuticals and
oh,
stuff.
oh,
wasn't a few
pharmaceuticals.
of the
Yeah,
kids at
Christ.
Columbine
So
on
it's like-
Ritalin?
Yeah, it might have been.
I think have been.
but yeah.
I think there were a few of
Lord
them on Ritalin.
help us.
It's
Oh no, they're gonna drug them up.
But
and
they're
gonna
trying-
Be,
once
they're
again,
gonna be
though-
brain soldiers.
But here's the thing
That
too.
shit messes with
I
your
just
head.
coined that phrase. If
Here's-
that goes big,
here's-
we started
okay,
it right
here's
here on
another thing,
Slick and
too.
Brewski.
Here's another thing too.
What did I call them?
If they
Brain
go
soldiers.
after
Brain soldiers.
if they try to
Brain
go after
soldiers
the
are coming to your city to
if
fucking
they try
shoot
to
you.
go after the kids' parents like they're trying to do in whatever the Valdi, okay, yes, they should go after that parent. But if they try to do that in the country, bud, it ain't gonna work out the greatest.
What do you mean?
You can't. It's not gonna work because
Go after the parents won't work in the country?
It's not going to work because it's a lifestyle. It ain't a whatever. It's.
Are you trying? It sounded like you were saying if a country kid went out and shot up his school, you can't go after his parents.
No, they're trying to go after guns in general, bud. They're trying to, but they're using we got to go after the parents. Now they're going to think all the parents are going to, we can't get guns or anything.
Right. Scare their kids away from even getting a gun.
What is the number
because
one
we
thing?
had a few bad eggs in
What
there.
is the number one thing in this world right now that won't ever affect me because I don't give a fuck?
Food dependency.
No. Fear tactics.
Well, we've really broken it down for you here today. If you can't come away from this podcast episode and do better in life, then you're not listening.
Pretty much, just don't be a piece of shit human.
Don't be a piece of shit human and like and subscribe.
Yeah, don't bow to anybody.
Don't bow to anybody. And we're still hung up on whether it's good to get punched in the face once in life.
Just once. You don't gotta get nuts.
I think it helps kids myself. But
or give them a skateboard and make them fall off and hit their knee once. You know what I mean?
That works too.
It doesn't gotta be a punch.
Let's settle for this. Not everybody needs punched in the face. I do look at some
How
kids
about
and
a
I
chicken
think
wing?
he wouldn't need punched in the face.
Yeah.
And then there's others that definitely why
chicken wing.
Okay, I got it. So we're sending the picture of your kids, and Brewski and I are gonna look at them and say whether your kid should be punched in the face or not. And
we're canceled.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can help us
save the world.
We're nasty, that's just the way we roll. And I think it's time for you to get your kicks come through on a nasty goal. So set the pace, make a move, make history for the books. And join me on the nasty side so you can quit with the nasty looks. Cause you think you're wild, well we are too. It's like one big old nasty zoo. And you just might wanna watch us step tonight, or you might end up with a nasty bite.